All right, real quick, it's yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. Before the video starts, it would mean the world to me if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram. That's how my business grows. At it's Mr. Taliaferro on your screen right now. When you follow and subscribe to me, you become one of the pharaohs. That's how I talk business, and that's how you support a young hustler out here getting it. All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing? We got a lot to get to in this video, so I want to go as quick as possible, but not overlooking big parts of information here. There's an artist by the name of Rhymefest. So for those who don't know Rhymefest, I guess the best way for me to summarize him is somebody that Ye's been doing for a long time. If I'm not mistaken, him and Ye are about the same age. I think Rhymefest is about 40. He's been somebody that's been very involved in the community of Chicago, and actually in this country. He's been doing a lot of work, a lot of groundwork, planting a lot of seeds, all right? A lot of time you don't see people do stuff on social media. They're actually real people in real life. And from a music standpoint, he's an artist, a rapper in his own right. But if you want to know probably his claim to fame, he won a Grammy with Ye for Jesus Walk. I think he helped, if not wrote the whole thing, Jesus Walks. And I found out recently, like yesterday, that he actually was a part of the writing process for Common and John Legend's hit record. What was that? I hit it like a year or two ago. Glory, glory, glory. We will be all right. I'm not gonna get into a deep dive singing, but just to sum up a long story here, Rhymefest is a very influential person who probably made more of an impact behind the scenes than what you'll see in front of the camera, even from the writing on down to his political and his activism, okay? With that being said, Rhymefest, like the rest of us, heard Kanye West's / Pusha T's diss record from one Drake, and he, like all of us, was a fan of the hip-hop references and also took some of Drake's words in a literal sense and discussed them on his social media platform. So Drake, in the diss record called Duppy Freestyle, which is majority about Pusha T, but it also uses Kanye West as an example to get a lot of his disses off. Honestly, the general consensus of it is, yo, Pusha T, you dissing me about ghostwriting allegations when I write for your boss all the damn time. So with that being said, Rhymefest hopped on Twitter to address this record after Drake sent, not only did he discuss Pusha T invoice on the record, he was like, yo, I'm gonna send the invoice over, I'm about to sell you 20,000 more copies on your album first week with me just bringing your name up. Drake also went online, and to hold Pusha T accountable for those 20,000 more album sales, he sent over an invoice online. He posted it on Instagram from OVO to Good Music, right? / Def Jam. He posted an invoice for $100,000 for the 20,000 more records that he was gonna help Pusha T sell over the weekend. After Pusha T hopped on his Twitter and was like, yo, send the invoice over. I heard the record, send over the invoice. So with all that being said, all these dudes talking this big money stuff and a beef, Rhymefest was on some serious stuff. We ain't talking about no rap, who's the best rapper, who's the best artist. We ain't talking about who did who. Rhymefest has created this nonprofit organization which was created to help the youth. It was created to help people in general. Honestly, to sum it up in one sentence, it's just a pipeline to the creative industries through arts education and youth development. And it was named after Donda West. We all know that is the mother of Kanye West. That was Kanye believes murdered by a doctor, right? He believes that this doctor plastic surgery went wrong and he did something wrong to his mom, and she had an unexpected heart attack if I'm not mistaken, right? But again, to the best of our knowledge, Donda West just died of a heart attack. Ye believes, and he says he's forgiving his doctor. He believes that the doctor that did a plastic surgery on her prior to that was the reason why she died or had a heart attack. Something went wrong with the plastic surgery. I'm not gonna get into that deep dive, but there are other things that happened without that process, like Donda West, again, the mother of Ye, that a lot of people believe since he lost his mom, he hasn't been the same. Kanye, I'll say this. With Donda West, she was told to certain things after the surgery not to leave the hospital. She left anyway, and that was against doctor's orders, right? So, I mean, again, it's very, very gray area. I don't want to get that far into it, but the organization was named after Donda West. Again, Kanye West is very artsy. what better way to honor his mom and just how much of an artsy guy he has become by naming somebody he gives most of his credit to success to, which is Donda, by naming this organization Donda's House. Again, he would be I'm sure the financial means behind this Donda House. That was the plan. He would be a lot of the thinking power behind it, with a lot of the other people like a Rhymefest doing a lot of the groundwork or putting people in positions to do a lot of the groundwork. So it was a dope idea, dope concept, right? Well, it ain't going as expected. So Rhymefest, after he listened to this diss record from Drake, he was like, I'm asking Drake to help the part of Chicago Kanye has abandoned. Please contact Donda's House. He went on to say, yo, Drake, when good music sends the money they owe you, will you please help us rebuild Kanye's mother's house for the youth of Chicago? I spoke to Kanye about it, and his response, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this one, was fuck the youth of Chicago. Now, I have a hard time believing Ye flat out said, fuck the youth of Chicago. You know what? I changed my mind. Not this Kanye West, who we've seen with the Make America Great Again hats on, with saying that he's a big Donald Trump fan. I don't know what this Ye, but Rhymefest is saying that Ye said fuck the youth of Chicago when Rhymefest was trying to get some financial means for Donda's House. Now, after that, I thought these tweets were very necessary to kind of show you who Rhymefest is, and also just see how he was able to kind of rebuttal against some fans who called him a gold digger, who tried to make it seem like he was just trying to find ways to skim money out of Ye. He only is around when it's time to get money for Ye. That's the only time people hear from him. So let's show these series of tweets with Rhymefest arguing back and forth with fans. So a fan hit Rhymefest and was like, yo, the only time I ever hear Rhymefest's name is when he mentioned Ye. Why don't he turn his Duke's crib into a place for Chicago youth instead of asking other grown men? Rhymefest responded by saying, I'm actually on a world tour with an album out now, doing very well. I purchased a home already. If you'd like to help, we welcome that as well. This fan got back at Rhymefest by saying, Ye has influenced the whole world through his art. Top 5 most influential acts of our generation. A lot of people have said Ye inspired and motivated them. Sorry, Donda Foundation ain't going the way it was envisioned, but don't act like Ye hasn't helped the culture since he dropped. Rhymefest responded by saying, Donda's House is doing well, bro. Do some research. I'm speaking about growth. And also Rhymefest said, influence doesn't happen by one person. Communities are built with collaboration. LOL, you seem more angry than you say. I am though, bro. Skip the debate. You should come get involved. We welcome your help too. Rhymefest went on to say, I'll take the heat because I know who and what I'm dealing with. I also have proof. What do you do when your brother turns into the Darth Vader? Kim Kardashian, she responded to Rhymefest. Ye is finishing an album right now, so he was not going to be the guy to respond. He's actually finishing 3 more albums. He's actually 4 more albums. He's got his album about to drop right this week, if I'm not mistaken. He's got Tiana Taylor's joint about to drop. Then Ye has a kid, him and Kid Cudi are doing the album. Then he also is producing Nas' album. So 7 songs from Pusha T, 7 songs from Ye, 7 songs from Ye and Cudi, 7 songs from Tiana Taylor, and also 7 songs from Nas. He's in Wyoming in the studio right now, so he won't be responding to anything. As a matter of fact, I've been told people have told him around him to just put his phone down. So Kim Kardashian responded to what is going on with her husband Ye, and she's taking up for her man, obviously. And she got at Rhymefest. She said, yo, look, you haven't been right since you got kicked out of the studio in Hawaii wearing fake Yeezys, Rhymefest. You're over leveraging, she spelled leveraging wrong, Kanye's name and asked Kanye to donate money to you. So stop with your fake community politics and lies. Truth is, you haven't been able to sustain the foundation. I saw you at our studio a few weeks ago, so why didn't you bring this up then, Rhymefest? You were trying to get Kanye to listen to your subpar beats. You have the audacity to use Kanye's mom name to try to shed a negative light on Kanye. You didn't say this when Kanye paid up front, then you disappeared during Pablo, #real friends. Fuck, I spelled leveraging wrong. Typing while pissed will do this to you. You better believe I will make it my mission to take Donda's House from you and let my children run it the way it should be ran. Oh, and lastly, your flight canceled to Wyoming. You thought you were really ready to be on this album? Laughing emojis. Sorry to all my followers for flooding my timeline. I know you have no idea who Rhymefest is. Look, I get it, Kim. You came for the defense of your man. I'm not mad at that, and we all make spelling errors with Apple, and sometimes we type. I ain't finna clown you for that. Look, I will say this though, it's something about Kim Kardashian has always rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe it's because her and her family slept their way to the top. It just rubs me the wrong way when I see Rhymefest. And say what you want, should he have handled that on social media? No. Kim Kardashian makes a great point when she says, yo, you shouldn't have handled that on social media. You got Ye's number. You know Ye personally. You were just around Ye a few weeks ago. Do that there. Don't do that on social media. Yes, Kim makes a great point, and I give her that point. But it just rubs me the wrong way when I see people throwing laughing emojis and saying, you're not worthy to be on this album. Well, we're not talking about an album right now, Kim Kardashian. The man was talking about a foundation that was supposed to help the youth. It rubs me. Those series of tweets just honestly come to me in like a privileged spot. It just feels privileged. You're not worthy to be on Kanye's album, right? Like, she's literally talking about her husband in like this godly like atmosphere, right? I would think most people in that situation would just say, my husband, don't talk bad about my husband. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like it's like a belittling thing, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not saying Kim had malicious on her heart, but just her approach, I get it. You taking up for your man. I respect that. I could never, that's not my place to knock how y'all know Rhymefest, so it might have personally hit you away. But her tweets and everything like that, it just felt, man, I don't know. It just kind of felt like it was from a privileged place. Anyways, so Rhymefest did respond to Kim Kardashian. He did it so in a detailed statement. He said, "Dear Kim Kardashian, I don't care if no one on your timeline knows who I am. The people in my community and my city do. And that's what truly matters. Your husband and I have been in correspondence for the last 2 months, which, as you stated, even you saw me in the studio recently. Kanye asked me if I would come help him with his album again. I wasn't seeking Kanye, he was seeking me. I spoke to your husband about peace and balance, as well as about the work that we have been doing in Chicago regarding Donda's House. He was more interested in his record. Understand that the mission of Donda's House has always been the value of collaboration, community, and empowering the youth to pursue their creative goals and dreams. What part about that would make it worthy of you or anyone else destroying it? Speak to the 500 plus youth that we work with. Show up to the upcoming audition that we have scheduled for young people to perform at festivals this upcoming Friday. Foot the bill as we have done for youth to record or contact more of your famous friends to actually come and sit down with the youth. How can you criticize an organization that you've never physically been to, or that you've never even talked to the executive director or any of the on the team? And lastly, I actually knew and was mentored by Dr. Donda West personally, and have met and spoke to hundreds of her students and mentees who not only support the work that we are doing in Chicago, but compel it. At this point, if you and Kanye want us to dissolve the organization so that you can do the work, we welcome that. As we will continue from our home on the south side of Chicago to do what we can to support the community we've worked 5 years to build in spite of you and Kanye's lack of interest or support. You have not been privy to the conversations that we've had, the emails that we have sent, and frankly, the positive press that Kanye has received as a result of our work. I encourage you, instead of attacking me personally, to Google us, watch the videos on our YouTube channel featuring our work, and come actually speak to the young people who have been involved in our program before you. And your position or privilege from God knows where in the world, via social media, attempt to dismantle this valued community asset. You and your team know how to get in contact with me, and we are awaiting your decision because our community will be okay regardless. Sincerely, Rhymefest. Yes, he did just properly get on Kim Kardashian's ass. Like, I don't know how you even respond for that. But in regards to the organization, I thought it is worth reading their final statement. They're pretty offended by Kim Kardashian's statement because they're looking at it like we can't get in contact with Kanye West. Kanye has been on and off his phone. If he wanted to get on his phone, he could. He's a grown man, right? He could take 5 minutes away from his album time. And you gotta believe Kim Kardashian only responded to this because of it affecting Kanye West a certain way, but he didn't want to get online and speak about it. He's already facing enough bad PR. So the Donda's House organization did give their final statement. They said, due to the recent events that have occurred over the last 48 hours, we have decided to no longer use the name Donda's House Incorporated. This has been an incredibly difficult decision, but the social media quotes from Kim Kardashian West, as well as the expressed interest of her family running the organization, has brought us to this decision. Over the last 5 years, we have put our students and community first. We'd like to thank all of our supporters and assure you that our hearts have always been with the city of Chicago, and we will continue to support the youth in our future endeavors. We encourage Kim and Kanye to indeed pick up the baton of service. We'll reach out to all partners in the coming weeks regarding next steps. Look, man, Kanye might be in album mode, and Rhymefest might have, if possible, I wish he could have just waited a couple weeks to after Ye's release some of these albums, then reach back out to Ye, right? Because there's going to be a gap between when Ye decides to tour and when his music is out in the atmosphere this summer at some point. It would have been good to just see them talk together and keep this off social media. But in regards to Kim, man, and again, she's a grown woman, she's a wife, she's a mother. You don't want to disrespect anybody like that. But in my opinion, anything Kim says is always going to rub the majority of the black community wrong, because most of the black community doesn't, like, we don't really respect her come up. Like, she be trying to talk from a place of, yo, I've did everything with integrity and morals. Like, for her to get online talking that mess about an organization that's trying to help the youth of Chicago, and all of us know, I'm from Memphis, trust me, I know how bad the youth need programs. I'm from Memphis. When I was growing up, we had Six Flags, Liberty Lands, all that pretty much was taken from us as kids. And I seen the spike in violence personally. And Chicago's like a height in Memphis with the crime. They're doing more crime than Memphis. I know they're bigger than Memphis, but trust me, I get it. The youth need programs. Listen, and I just think with Kim Kardashian online talking about an album, you're not worthy to be on an album. You're laughing emojis saying this and that. We'll just take the organization and put it in our kids. It just feels a tad bit inconsiderate to the program. Again, could Rhymefest has picked a different time than responding to this in the midst of a beef that involved her husband Kanye West? Yes, Rhymefest could have picked a different time. You shouldn't be trying to get money when somebody's clowning your friend and his artist, right? But again, Kim's tweets just rub me all the way the wrong way. Again, maybe I'm not a Kim fan. I've never watched an episode of a Kardashian show. I don't get her brand. I mean, her brand is sex. You know what I mean? So to each his own. Nevertheless, Donda's House will no longer be named that. They're going to come up with some new creative name. And I wish that organization nothing but the best. If somebody from that organization is watching this video, please reach out. I would love to talk to somebody, have them on my program. Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. I don't take it for granted. Interviews coming your way next week. Rich Homie Quan, Lil Marlo out of Atlanta, and Kenny Money out of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm very excited for these interviews to drop, and I'm very excited for the future of my platform. Salute to everybody. I hope y'all work this thing out behind the scenes. We don't need to see that on Twitter, but if y'all gonna put it on Twitter, Mr. Taliaferro's gonna talk about it. And I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty. Yeah.